Welcome to Petty Details, where we skip down a tree-lined lane of conversation on subjects from music to history and everything in between. Join Meg and Monica in our quest for nuggets of knowledge on all kinds of different subjects. Our journey will drop some petty details on you that you didn't know you needed to know until now. All right, welcome to Petty Details.
Hello, hello.
Hello to my
Hello.
crew, Monica and Cam.
Hi.
And today we have a new merch thing. What is on your head, Monica?
A new merch thing. Why, this is the Petty Details Crew hat.
Very nice, very nice.
Tip your
Cam,
hat for us.
Yes.
what are you wearing?
Oh,
What are you wearing,
I've
Cam?
got the. I've actually got nothing on. No, let's go back
Nothing from.
in the Wayback Machine.
We're gonna
Woohoo.
redo that whole part. We're gonna edit. Well, we are gonna go in the Wayback Machine today,
Woohoo.
but if you would like any of this merch, let us know. And always subscribe so you don't miss an episode.
You don't miss out on any of the petty details.
That's right. All right,
Nope.
so today, let's talk about Pepsi.
Oh,
the
I love Pepsi. Okay.
Soda?
Yeah.
Okay, Pepsi Cola. Got it.
So, whether you like Pepsi, Coke, or even one of those weird RC loving people,
Mm.
this
Okay.
isn't about that. Although, I will say
Shots fired, Meg. That was crazy.
that we did a blind taste test at work,
Mhm.
and most people, including myself, actually liked the Pepsi better.
Really?
Even though they said they weren't Pepsi people, yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah. But all of
I
that is
enjoy a
besides the
Pepsi.
point. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy Pepsi because we are not here to debate Coke versus Pepsi
Uh.
or why you shouldn't be drinking 41 grams of sugar in one can or any of that.
No, literally. Prefer neither, but yeah.
What are we here to debate, Meg?
More
So we are
water.
here to discuss the wild and sometimes very misguided advertising history of Pepsi.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's dive in.
Yes, let's dive in. So let's go in the Wayback Machine. Cam?
Doo-doo-doo.
Whoa. Oh, no. I'm so embarrassed.
I love that they're different every time. That
I
makes me even
know.
happier.
Oh, yeah. It never sounds the same because
No.
we never
Like
go
it.
to the same place.
That's exactly
That's very
why.
true. Yep. All right, so we are going back to 1984.
It was a good year.
Was a good year. Great
Oh.
music. But this was the year.
Yeah, love that year.
Yes,
Hot summer, actually.
it
we all
was.
It
remember it.
was.
If I remember correctly, I
Yeah.
was 2.
Yeah.
So this is when Michael Jackson was the biggest artist around.
Yes,
He just
Mhm.
was. There's no debating that.
he was the
He-
ticket.
He was the man. And of course, Pepsi wants to work with him. So they come
Mhm.
up with this whole Pepsi Generation ad campaign.
Mhm.
And that wasn't centered around him, but they wanted him involved.
Mhm.
And the first commercial that he does is a bunch of kids, one who's dressed up like Michael, dancing, drinking a Pepsi, all to the song of Billie Jean. But he changes the words to say something about you're a whole new generation, you're dancing through the day, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
When the kid moonwalks into actual Michael.
Ooh,
And
careful now.
there's this whole like West Side Story dance off thing. Anyway, so commercial does well. And things are going so well that they're going to do more commercials with him.
Mhm.
And they're going to film the next commercial, which was the same song, but it's like a whole concert theme.
Okay.
So Michael is shown getting ready for the
Okay.
concert. I think his brothers are there. There's like 3,000 screaming fans that are screaming, Michael, Michael. Obviously, they're drinking Pepsi. He runs through the back of the stadium. Sparks fly. He goes on stage and he sings the new
Oh no.
Pepsi Generation song, and the fans adore him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
But
did I get you, Cam? Well, they had done
Well,
this
I
about
heard sparks fly and I was like, oh no, not again.
yeah, again. So they had done about 5 takes of this. Things are going well, but they need more footage. So on the 6th take, he's supposed to wait until the stage kind of opens up for him, and then he walks through, and the sparks are supposed to come up behind him
once he's through.
once he's through.
Okay.
This had
Right.
happened 5 times before, it was fine. Well, on the 6th take, the pyrotechnics go off early. The pomade in his hair catches fire, but he continues dancing down the stairs and even spins on
Oh,
the stage. Yeah, before all hell breaks loose and someone is able to grab the fire extinguisher and kill the flames. And then there are tons of people surrounding him. They're patting him down because not only has his hair caught fire, but his jacket and his face.
I was gonna say it's caught like at some point it's
wow.
gonna spread. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
And there is video of this.
Oh.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah, there is video
That's
of this, so
crazy.
you can go and watch it on YouTube. He is rushed out to the hospital. But apparently he's like trying to calm some of these like stunned and terrified audience members by telling him that he's okay, like on the way out.
Yeah.
And
They should have poured Pepsi on him.
they should
Sorry, that was it.
him.
That was rude. He's literally on fire. I'm like, haha.
And
Or
that's how
Pepsi,
we
I
got
guess.
sued by the Jackson
Right.
estate
Yeah.
and Pepsi all at the same time.
No, literally.
Oh my God. So this is a huge deal, obviously. And I mean, Pepsi just set the biggest pop star in the world on fire.
Yeah.
So they
Damn.
ended up awarding him about $1.5 million, which he actually gave to a hospital, which set up a burn unit,
Okay.
I believe for children.
Wow.
And they paid his medical bills, but he's never the same again. So like,
No.
if you see pictures of him before and after, a lot of people attribute
Yeah.
it to this incident. And this is when he started wearing wigs because he had been scarred so badly on his head. He started I think getting hair plugs, stuff like that. He was wearing makeup to cover the scars on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't stop working with Pepsi after this. This was
Okay.
not a deal breaker for him.
Well, I mean, he recognized, I'm
I
sure, that
mean,
it was literally an accident. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
intentional, it
Right.
wasn't malicious on Pepsi's part. They'd done it 5 times. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
right,
But
right.
still, yikes, I can see why he was traumatized by that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But he went on to do more commercials with them for another like 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like I remember that first commercial, because I'm pretty sure they ran it
Oh yeah.
for a while, for years.
I think
But
they
yeah.
actually ran the second commercial too, but you can find it
The-
on YouTube.
The concert theme one, yeah. Wow.
Which is surprising to me,
Dang.
but
I know.
I don't have confirmation on that, so do not quote me on that. Do not want any
At least
nasty
they're not running the
comments.
one where he catches fire.
No, no, they did not
That would be
post
crazy.
that part. But that,
Yeah,
like I said,
no.
it is on the internet if you want to see it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Because the footage did leak, and that was not good for
Warning.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Warning.
It was
Michael
not good.
Jackson
Yeah.
is on fire.
Yeah. But Petty Detail, the guy who directed the 1984 Michael Jackson video, this guy named Bob Giraldi,
Mm-hmm.
also was the
Mhm.
director of Jackson's Beat It video and Pat Benatar's Love is a Battlefield.
Oh, nice.
That one.
Wait, which one?
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Cam, go and look up Pat Benatar's Love is a Battlefield, and you will know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
Yep. That's your
right.
homework.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your homework.
That and to watch House of Wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's fast forward a little to 1985.
Another good year. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The winter was cold.
When it was
Yes.
cold, yes.
It was exceptionally.
Is a running bit.
The fall was windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are too
Oh.
much.
No,
So,
if I was in Louisiana, fall would still be hot
Oh, fair.
but
and
windy.
rainy.
But windy.
But windy, yes.
Yeah, but all of it. It's actually every one of the weathers all at once.
It's true.
All right. So in 1985, Pepsi spent $14 million. And I had to look this up because I didn't think this was a real thing. To invent a can that could be drunk in zero gravity.
$14
Oh, that's
million
awesome. That's
Mhm.
so cool.
Did it work?
Let's find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Was it
like.
a success? Was it a successful
We are gonna
investment?
try it out, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So Coke
We
decided
just
it
start
needed
floating.
with my zero gravity.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Coke decided it needed something big. So they approached NASA to see if they would be allowed to design a can of Coke that would function in zero gravity of space on the next Challenger flight.
Okay.
Okay, this is before Challenger explodes.
Okay.
Well, NASA was like, oh, spoiler
Spoiler alert.
fam.
No, literally. No, I knew that. It's just I was like, wait, didn't one of those explode? And then you were
Yeah.
like, before the Challenger explosion, and I was
Yeah.
like, ah.
But it went up a few times before it exploded. So this is one of those times before.
Very true.
Yeah.
Where it's because they had the can in there.
Right.
Pepsi did not explode the Challenger. That is
No,
fake
no.
news.
It went up successfully because of the can being in
okay.
there.
That's what he was saying. Okay.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on a second. No.
No.
Sorry. Yeah. No.
This one was a successful one because the can was in there.
Yes.
Because of the
Okay. Had
can.
they had the Pepsi can in the other Challenger, it wouldn't have exploded.
There you go.
Heard it here first.
Still a horrible thing to say, but yeah.
It's
let's go with it.
conspiracy theory. We're going with it. All right.
Yep.
Conspiracy theories sell right now.
Yep.
Okay, so
No, literally.
NASA tells Coke, they're like, cool, we
Tells
aren't
Coke or
spending any
Pepsi?
money on Coke.
Okay.
They tell Coke, we're not spending any money on this, so go for it. Like, we don't care. And
Yeah.
Coke starts to design it. But then Pepsi hears about this and decides to also approach NASA to see if they could get in the game. Obviously, NASA has bigger fish to fry, so they're like, go for it. We don't care.
Again, we're not spending our money to
Right.
be our guest.
Put a can of your soda on the thing. Go ahead. Like what?
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. So Coke and Pepsi come up with wildly different designs, and you can see these out there. They are on the internet. And they both did go to space in 1985.
Wow.
And both made like big deals of this in
Nice.
ads.
Yeah.
So Coke,
Well, obviously, yeah.
yeah. So Coke's looks
You
like
spent a lot of money on that.
yeah.
Seriously.
So Coke's looks like something on the top, like you've got the can and then it's got a whole topper thing on the top. Pepsi's looks like
Okay.
a can of whipped cream.
No, I need to see this as well.
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm
What-
Googling this
do I-
because what?
What do I
Yeah.
type in? Coke.
Yeah,
can,
Coke, Pepsi.
Challenger.
Yeah,
Not Challenger disaster.
not
No,
Challenger
please.
disaster. So this actually works.
Coke
And they
bottle
had like
challenge.
half of the crew drink Coke and half of them drink Pepsi. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. It works. Both of these are great. But ultimately, neither became the drink of choice in space because the astronauts found that they couldn't really burp up the carbonation. So it just sat in their stomachs.
Oh, that
which
I
was
bet felt awful.
super uncomfortable. Yeah.
So this is what it is. This
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. So
Is
that's
that
Okay,
it?
thank you,
Mhm.
because my Wi-Fi is literally like, no.
Yeah.
Don't do this. So that's the Pepsi version of it. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a can of whipped cream. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's
so,
like have y'all seen, I don't know how many of y'all are on like TikTok, but have y'all seen the Sprite challenge where you have to like down a bottle of Sprite as quickly as you can without burping. Like the whole time. Like you can take
Mm.
breaks, but you can't burp.
Oh,
And
I
it's
don't.
like almost impossible to
Yeah,
do.
I don't think I
Yeah,
can do
that
It's
it.
sounds
like
painful,
it's like
honestly.
crazy.
But you can do it
Yeah,
in space.
yeah, yeah,
So there you go.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So then there was that one time that Pepsi didn't know what they were getting when they partnered with Madonna.
Oh my.
Woo!
Yeah. So let's go in the Wayback Machine
Woohoo.
to a time.
Whoa!
You're gonna go back to a time when Madonna was still putting out good music and she was still relevant.
Oh,
Shots fired. Not
Shots
sorry.
fired.
Okay, so we're going back to 1989.
I'm gonna get the red dot on the middle of my forehead, just like Madonna with a sniper.
Yeah,
We're all.
for real.
What did you say? Nothing,
Uh,
nothing.
so in 1989, Madonna signs this huge deal with Pepsi that will have them sponsoring her next tour,
Oh wow.
and she would be doing a commercial with them, all for about $5 million.
So they spent
1989
more
money.
on I was gonna say, but they spent more on space. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, it worked.
Yeah.
So this all seems kind of run of the mill today, because there's always some kind of sponsor on the tours and stuff like that. But this was like
Yeah.
a whole new thing for the time because this was going to be the first time when a song would premiere to the world in a commercial.
Okay.
And when I say the world,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean it. This was going to be a global launch in something like 40 countries.
Wow. And it was a brand new
Wow.
song.
Brand new song. And this is a big deal because the
I wonder what
song
song
wasn't
it
going to
is.
be released on the radio first, which was the custom at the time,
Yeah.
right? This is
Okay.
before they put them on TikTok and YouTube and all that
Oh,
first. You
Right.
had to wait for the radio
right.
premiere, right?
Oh my gosh. Or wait for the album to come out.
Yeah. So Pepsi goes ahead and gets a hot commercial director. He had previously shot the This Is Your Brain on Drugs commercials.
Okay. With the fried egg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Even Cam knows that one. Um,
No, for real.
and he had done a couple of things for Michael Jackson, but this is not the same director that had done the infamous 1984 Pepsi ad with Michael.
Okay.
Okay, different guy.
Oh, okay.
So
Not him. Yeah.
no, don't believe Pepsi worked with him again.
Mm.
Although he did work after that, so don't
Well,
feel
that's
bad
good.
for Bob. Okay, so they get this choreographer, Vincent Patterson, who would later work with Madonna on the Vogue and Express Yourself videos. This is like a big deal.
Hmm.
And they come
Mhm.
up with this kind of wholesome storyline where current Madonna and childhood Madonna meet.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh.
this commercial opens with 1989 Madonna drinking a Pepsi, watching a home movie of herself as a child, when Like a Prayer starts to play.
Oh.
Oh my.
Then it switches to 1989 Madonna dancing in front of
Sorry.
a diner. Yeah, you see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
So 1989 Madonna is dancing in front of a diner, and child Madonna is like watching this on TV. And then there's some shots in a school, same kind of thing.
Hmm.
Petty detail.
Mhm.
It was filmed in a Catholic school, which will become important later. So
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
dancing and singing, some Pepsi, then a choir. And then it ends
Connecting the
with
dots.
Madonna, with child Madonna drinking an old school Pepsi, and 1989 Madonna drinking a new school Pepsi, telling her child self to make a wish.
Hmm.
Do you remember this
Okay.
commercial?
I
Oh.
don't.
You probably don't. Let
I
me
fit
tell you
in, yeah,
why.
because they never aired it.
So Pepsi thinks this commercial is so good and this idea is so grand that they go
Mhm.
ahead and pre-purchase about $10 million worth of airtime.
Oh dang.
This is 1989 money. This
Yeah.
is not today money. So this is a lot of money.
Right.
So
Right.
far they've spent 15 million, and that's not even counting the cost of the actual commercial, right?
Right.
Right.
which is all fine and good. But they didn't know that Madonna had also shot a different video for Like a Prayer that was going to go on MTV. And Madonna, being
Crazy.
Madonna, had decided she was going to do the MTV video for Like a Prayer,
Oh, jeez.
and that it wasn't going to be quite as wholesome as the Pepsi ad.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the MTV video was supposed to be controversial. Like, she went into it trying
Yeah.
to make
Mhm.
it controversial.
Well, it was MTV, so that makes sense.
Right.
And it's Madonna, right?
It's
Well,
also
that too,
Madonna.
yeah.
Yeah. Like controversial queen, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
She is like the
Even back then, this wasn't a new thing for her, right?
No.
Like, she
This
had already
that
gotten
was
in trouble, I think, on the VMAs for
Oh.
rolling around in a wedding dress and stuff like that.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
this isn't new.
Yeah.
Hey. So
She's
the
awesome.
MTV video was supposed to show a choice between right and wrong and make some references about religion and sexual ecstasy being the same thing. And it was going to get into racism. And then there was like this burning crosses and Madonna dancing in a church
Okay.
with her clothes hanging off herself. But people are pissed.
Yeah.
So many
No.
things
How?
pissed off the public about this
What?
video, especially the religious public.
Gee, I wonder why.
So many things. Like, there's a litany of things.
Oh yeah.
Let me just start with, like, Madonna kissing saints, black saints at that.
Oh geez.
Oh,
Yeah,
House of Wax. Sorry.
House of Wax. So then she was
Different House of
accused.
Wax.
Yeah.
Right. Then she was even accused of cultural appropriation and exploitation of black culture. Like, she pissed off everybody
Wow.
with this video.
Across the board, like just
Damn.
universally.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems kind of tame now, but in 89,
Right.
no.
Oh, that was huge. That was
Huge.
an absolutely big deal.
Right.
Wow.
So Pepsi commercial drops in February of 89. And the MTV video first airs on, I think, Entertainment Tonight about a month later.
Okay.
And apparently what happened was that the video was not dropped off to Entertainment Tonight until like the last second. So they didn't get to really preview it
Oh man.
until like they're supposed to air it.
Oh geez.
And immediately ET is like, no, we are not showing this whole video. So they edit it and they just used certain parts of the video to run during the end credits. Like,
Oh,
even
man.
ET was like, hell no, we're not touching this.
Right.
Then the video makes it to MTV, who of course airs the whole thing.
Right.
And it's immediate backlash. People are calling for protests. They're calling for boycotts. The Pope gets involved and calls for boycotts.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Not the Pope.
Yeah, the
Pope's
Pope.
got other things to do, man.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Dang.
So they're not only calling for boycotts of Madonna and the video, but they're like, Pepsi, anything that you do, including KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, we're
Oh,
going to
dang.
protest.
Like the entire company. Oh
Yep.
geez.
Obviously,
Wild.
Yeah.
Pepsi pulls the commercial and goes a different direction.
Yes.
So I think it only ran for maybe a month,
Jeez.
which is why you don't remember this commercial.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that it ran at all is kind of impressive, but yeah.
Well, but you got to remember it came out before the video on MTV.
Well, that's true.
They didn't know what they were getting into.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
honestly, they should have and did know better. So let me rephrase that. They knew exactly what they were getting into.
I was gonna say, well, like you said earlier,
Right.
it's Madonna. Like this
Right.
isn't
Right.
this wasn't new behavior for her. Like she by this
If you're
point had
talking about
done
someone crashing the system,
Right.
it's Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, Pepsi had tried to get Madonna for an ad way back in 1985 when another Madonna scandal erupted over Playboy and Penthouse publishing nude pictures of her. And Pepsi backed away from the ad campaign with her, then thinking that she was too controversial. Yet
But they went
somehow,
back to the table.
yeah, somehow by 1988, they had forgotten all of that and decided to try again, bigger this time.
They were under new management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am sure this person got fired over
They
this.
said,
Yeah.
what if we got Madonna?
Right.
And
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah.
We haven't tried that before. Like, let's
Uh-huh.
do that.
No, and the custodian was the one who like got the like they got the same company in the transfer, and they're like, ooh, and they're just not gonna say anything. They're just
Yeah.
mopping.
Nobody's going to remember.
Right.
So
I created an
anyway,
entire scenario in my mind. Wow.
Backstory and everything. I
oh
love
yeah,
it.
Petty detail
petty
for you.
details of Cam's mind.
May not be definitely isn't a fact.
So anyway, this ad was yanked until it was shown at the VMAs in 2023.
That long?
Wow.
This ad did not see the light of day until 2023.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it wasn't
That's-
destroyed is also impressive, but yeah.
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 Are you ready for the best petty detail here?
Of course.
Madonna got to keep the
Yes.
$5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I
Of
mean,
course.
she fulfilled her contract.
That's literally
Yep.
she did what she needed to do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
She absolutely fulfilled her contract term, so that makes sense.
Yep. So there you
Yep.
go. All right. So this one is just sad. So let's fast forward to
Oh.
1992.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
didn't
Good
remember
year.
this. Right? Another good year.
Yeah.
When
Spring
Pepsi-
was springing.
Spring was gorgeous.
springing, yeah.
I sneezed a lot.
Yeah.
Pollen content. Yeah. Whatever.
Pepsi ran a competition in the Philippines called Number Fever. Do you remember
Okay.
this?
Mhm.
No.
I don't remember this either. But the whole
Nope.
idea was that Pepsi would print numbers on the drink's bottle caps, and then the local news would announce winners each night.
Like a lottery.
That's so
Okay.
cool.
And the ad
That's awesome.
said that you could become a millionaire, which meant
Oh.
about $40,000 in 1992 American dollars.
Okay.
Okay, but then that also has to get transferred to I forgot what they use in the Philippines.
Pesos.
They don't use pesos, yeah. They don't use American.
Yeah, I believe it's pesos, but yeah, it's 1,000,000 pesos. So, and there were other
Oh, okay,
prizes
okay.
too. There were other prizes too.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like ranging from $5 to whatever.
A year's
so
worth of Pepsi.
yeah,
I would
Right.
love that.
exactly. So this promotion goes on for a bit and things are going well, and they've had something like 50,000 prizes redeemed. And then it comes to May of 1992 when the number 349 was supposed to be printed on only 2 caps.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm like,
Supposed to
when it got
be
printed.
supposed to be is the key word.
Yeah. But instead, thousands of these
Oh.
winning number caps were printed. Like a lot of thousands, like 800,000.
Oh, dang. Oh.
Oh. How do you print that many of the same number and not notice?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Oh my goodness.
now
Someone
there
fell
are
asleep on their keyboard and it was just like beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody else got fired for this shit.
Yeah,
So
they did.
now there are hundreds of thousands of winners, all thinking that they're going to be millionaires. And you have to remember
no.
that this is something like 600 times the average monthly salary at the time.
Oh yeah.
This is, I mean,
Right.
can you
Huge amount of
imagine
money.
if somebody said you were going to be a millionaire today with your like
mean, I'd
normal
freak
salary?
out.
But yeah, but you go to the
Yeah.
Philippines and this is wow. And technically speaking, these winning number caps were supposed to also have a security code with them. But all but 2 of these bottle caps didn't have the security codes. So you've got 2 that are actually winning, and then you've got 700 and however
no.
many 99,
Fakes.
98 with just the number on them.
Oh, geez.
No, that's horrible.
Oh, it gets worse. That doesn't matter to a bunch of
Oh.
people thinking that they're going to be millionaires, though, obviously.
Right.
So thousands of people start heading to the bottling plants to claim their winnings. And Pepsi is like, no, they don't have the security codes, so they don't count.
Jeez.
Oh, bruh.
Ugh.
But Pepsi knows that this is a bad look.
Oh, yeah.
So they decide to do the good faith thing. I can't even tell you, like, this is so insulting
Oh, geez.
that you will understand what happens later. So they decide to offer about $18 to the people who have the winning number but no security codes.
$18.
$18.
Yeah.
$18.
You
$18.
can't even
can
round
buy,
up and
like-
do 20. Like,
No, for real. And
Yeah.
you can buy like 5 Pepsis with that. Good luck.
Right.
That's basically what they're like.
oh, gee.
Yeah.
How did they arrive at that number? I'm so curious.
know.
Like,
I'm
don't know.
assuming they probably took the amount that they could
true.
give and divided it by
By
the amount of
800,000?
people that got
Yeah.
that number. Yeah, by that number. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, about 500,000 people accept this. Okay. But
$18 is $18.
Yeah, 18 bucks is 18 bucks. But quite a few are still stupid pissed.
Yeah.
So they start to form
Understandably.
right.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say
they
I could see it.
start forming committees and
'cause, like-
shit. Oh, it's
Like, what
totally
if you-
insulting.
What if you go and like buy, like you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna go buy, like, invest in something, and
right,
now
you
you
quit
don't
your
have your million.
job.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
really, literally.
Eh. Yeah. So they start to form committees and shit and boycott Pepsi products. Normal, right? But then they
Mhm.
start protesting outside Pepsi offices. And by
Wow.
February 1993, this has gotten completely out of hand. Pepsi executives are getting death threats,
Oh, yikes.
and something like
Oh.
37 trucks are being attacked and burned.
Oh, geez.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And I feel kind of bad for any of these like Pepsi drivers and things
It's-
because they had
yeah,
nothing to
it's
do with
not
it.
like
their
the
fault.
worker, yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Oh, man.
Well, it goes downhill from there, and someone gets a pipe bomb and tries to bomb a Pepsi delivery truck and ends up killing a teacher and a 5-year-old kid.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Oh.
Someone else throws a grenade into a Pepsi warehouse and kills 3 of the workers.
Oh, my gosh. Completely out of hand.
Completely out of hand. Yeah.
Literally.
Oh.
So by 1993, people are suing Pepsi all over the place. And Pepsi ended up having to pay about 150,000 pesos fine to the Department of Trade and Industry in the Philippines.
Jeez.
And
Damn.
some of the lawsuits did see the plaintiffs winning some money, but it wasn't even close to the 1 million pesos.
Yeah.
And finally, the cases were settled in the Philippines Supreme Court in 2006.
They fought
Holy
it that
crap.
long. Jeez.
Yeah. Yep.
Dang.
Wow.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
So now you'd think that Pepsi would have learned its lesson with
Yeah.
having contests gone wrong, but it didn't.
No.
Yeah. So in 1996, Pepsi thought it was being cute and launched another points promotion.
Okay.
And they
They
have
just
this,
keep transferring office buildings, apparently.
Yeah.
Like HQ
Yes.
is everywhere.
right?
They're
It's like every
"What if we
time
did
somebody
a
gets fired,
competition?"
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
this is all the janitor's ideas. He's
Yes.
like, another
Yes. Yes.
He just starts whispering in
Yeah,
in
what
the
if you
board
guys
members'
did like
ears.
Madonna or something?
Dude, he's
Yeah.
like
What
the
if that? What
devil.
if we
He's
did
like
that?
over there whispering in all these executives' ears, trying to
Yeah.
get them fired.
Hey, by the way, you
And they're
should
like,
do
you know what?
this.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
exactly. So they've got this points promotion and they have this commercial, and it's this cool kid walking through his house, getting ready for school or whatever. And the first thing says Pepsi t-shirt, 75 points, because he's got his Pepsi t-shirt on. Well, then
Okay.
the next shot is him in a leather jacket, and underneath it, it says leather jacket, 1,450 points. Then he puts on his shades and it says sunglasses, 175 points. Then it shows a bunch of people looking at the sky and papers flying in the classroom. And the cool kid lands on the lawn of the school in his Harrier fighter jet. And underneath it, it says 7 million points. Not a
Oh my
disclaimer in sight.
gosh.
Oh, Pepsi.
No.
Yeah,
You just issued a challenge
you
to the
just issued a
public.
No,
challenge. Yes.
literally.
Yeah.
I'd be
Oh,
fine with the jacket.
Right?
The
seriously.
jacket sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, John Leonard is one of those guys.
That took up
That's
the challenge accepted.
challenge accepted.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool, I'm going to do the math on this and figure out exactly how much Pepsi I need to buy to get myself a jet.
That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah. So this 20-year-old John figures out that he doesn't have to buy all this Pepsi and try and drink it and store it, but that he can buy Pepsi points without actually having to buy the drinks.
Oh,
Okay.
huh.
And somehow he gets
How
like
so?
his dad to like bankroll this for him, I think. But he knows that this is kind of crazy. He knows that Pepsi probably doesn't have a fighter jet laying around, but he's 20 and he's like, can't hurt to
Absolutely.
try.
Well, and like you said, no disclaimer in sight. So,
He figures he'll get something
Literally.
out of it, right?
yeah, let's go.
Right.
Well, obviously, when he goes to redeem the points, Pepsi is like, that's a joke. And he's like,
Ah!
no. And it ends up in a court battle,
How much
a
did he
years
win?
long court battle, like for real.
Oh, wow.
Now, sadly, and ultimately, the poor kid does lose.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Oh,
And
damn.
this is what annoys me about the whole thing. Is like they could have done something for this guy.
Yeah.
They could have saved this.
Something.
They could have been like,
Yeah.
oh, let's get
Mhm.
you some kind of ride in a fighter jet. Like that'll be
Right.
cheaper than
Right,
having another
right.
PR disaster. But no, they
Well,
don't do that.
and they could have absolutely spun this PR narrative to their advantage, like,
Hmm.
and still save face. Like that.
It was never you get a fighter jet, you get a ride in a
Right.
fighter jet. Yeah,
There you
is that
go.
Yeah.
you know, it's very that's very savable on their
Yeah.
end.
And it would have been
Absolutely.
way
Clearly.
cheaper than the freaking 15 million they'd already wasted on Madonna or the
Seriously.
14 million they
Yeah.
sent into space.
Right.
But again, not a good look for Pepsi, which, as you can see, was already having some PR issues during this time and didn't do any of that.
Mm,
They just look
Jeez.
like assholes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
yeah.
So a lot of this dumbassery can be attributed to the Cola Wars. Have you heard of this, Cam?
Oh. I know like I don't know if I know it as like the Cola Wars. I just know like Pepsi versus Coke. Well, actually, okay. No one's gonna get this, maybe, I guess. But like there's this, I don't know, there's this stupid meme and it's like Conk versus Beppis. And it's just something to be stupid, and it's literally Coke versus Pepsi in a meme. It's wild.
Well,
It's
it
literally
probably
just like
stems from the Cola Wars, which I know that Monica
must
remembers.
be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And then, like you said, those random few that are RC lovers.
they're weirdos. We don't even acknowledge them.
Well, yeah.
Bruh.
Them and their Dr. Shasta.
All right. All right. So obviously, both of these companies, Coke and Pepsi, have been around for ages by the time that this goes down.
Yes.
And they were always competing in the same markets.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing new. Like they've been around since late
Forever.
1800s, early 1900s by this time. So in the mid 70s, Pepsi started doing the Pepsi Challenge, which was the blind taste test.
Okay.
And they started
Okay.
showing that more people actually did prefer Pepsi over Coke.
The actual taste of Pepsi.
The actual taste of
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna be fully honest. I am one of those people.
I am one of those people too, and I found that out when I
I
did.
don't like the taste. I don't like the taste of Coke.
I don't care for either one. That is because of a childhood thing, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's okay.
Oh,
So
a secret petty detail.
Well, I mean, I can get into it if you really want me to, but not that exciting.
please don't eat while you're
Oh, right. No, so when I was younger, when I was little, if my brother and I had upset stomachs, if we were vomiting, whatever, my mom would basically give us flat Coke or flat Pepsi, whatever we had at the
Yeah, a
time.
hot Coke.
Mhm.
Yeah, not
That's what
hot. It didn't
my
have to be
my people
hot,
say
but it
the
was
same
just
thing.
flat. So she would like
Oh, okay.
defizz it, decarbonate, whatever you want to call it. Um, and so I don't really care for Coke or Pepsi because they remind me of when I was little and I was not feeling well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same reason why I
So
don't drink tea because my mom did the same thing. If I wasn't feeling good, it was dry toast and tea. And so that's
see,
what
and
I
I don't,
associate it with.
dang.
see, and that's odd to me 'cause I've never heard that about tea, but like the syrup in Coke and Pepsi when they're flat, it coats your stomach and it actually helps
Well, that's what it
calm
was
it down.
originally made for
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't made as like a soda fountain drink. It was a,
No.
what did they call them? Elixir, something like
Yes, it
that.
was supposed to be basically it was marketed as um a kind of medication, almost elixir. I
That's
mean, yeah.
that's
Mhm.
wow.
Hmm.
Petty detail for me.
I know.
Am I right?
We just
I
blew
even know
Cam's
that
We
one.
mind.
did, we did.
Yeah.
All right, so they're doing this Pepsi challenge, this blind taste test. And this has been proven in my very scientific work blind taste test that was conducted last year.
Yes.
But still, like Coke is winning the battle here in sales. Until Coke does the dumbest thing of all time in any food product, and I'm looking at you, Butterfinger, and changed up their recipe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Have you tried the new Butterfingers? They're fucking trash.
No, I have not
No, I bought my
because
mom some for Mother's Day though, but I hope she likes them. Oh.
well,
They're
and that's the
trash.
crazy thing is there are some people that probably will never notice
Yeah, I
the
noticed
difference or
though.
the change.
Okay.
But Butterfinger is one of those things. It's like never had them frequently enough. Like
Oh, they were one of my favorites.
so I enjoyed
Mm,
them and I
they're
had
my
them
mom's
I
favorite.
had them ever so often, but because I had them so rarely, I did notice the difference
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when they changed up that
Oh,
recipe. I was
okay.
all,
it was bad.
that's weird. Yeah.
Wait.
Well, guess what? The general public also was not fond of the dog piss
Noticed.
that they called New Coke.
New Coke.
The masses
Oh, wait, I've heard of New
revolted.
Coke.
Yeah,
It was a disaster for Coke. And I think it was only
Mm,
out for like 3 months too, something like that.
probably. Yeah, it did not
yeah.
last long at
And
all.
Pepsi pounced. They were like,
Oh,
We
hell
are
I
taking
yeah.
imagine.
advantage of this.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
So they bring
Well,
out this new generation marketing campaign basically to troll Coke.
which I mean, all the money that they lost in the 80s and early 90s, they've got to take advantage somewhere.
Well, no, this is because
Right.
this is why they started losing money in the 80s and 90s is because
Oh,
of this,
gotcha.
is because they were like trolling Coke and trying to make everybody's trying to one up each other here. So
Yeah,
Coke
that's
lost
true.
money too on some of
Right.
this. I'm sure that Coke did some dumb shit too, but
Yeah.
that's another episode. So, um,
Mm.
obviously, Coke is not going to let this slide. So they
No.
go back and forth in this epic battle of ads, adding more celebrities, more gimmicks, and more money.
This is the
And
equivalent of your sibling and you poking each other and like who's gonna poke each other last? Like
that's
Yep.
you have to be the
exactly
last one to
what this
poke the other
was. Yeah.
person.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of those, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
Yes.
Literally.
I actually saw a commercial, and I don't know if this is a real one, and it's this kid, and he's doing the Coke machine, or the I call everything Coke. He's doing the pop machine, the soda machine,
You're
and
so from New
Soda,
Mexico.
yeah.
get down, put gas, get myself a Coke.
Yeah,
So,
you're all bad.
he like puts money in, he gets a Coke, puts money in,
Mhm.
gets another Coke, stands on the Coke cans to get a Pepsi, and then walks away from the Cokes. I was like, I love this
That's
ad.
Oh, that
awesome.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So anyway, this back and forth, it did result in more sales. It also resulted in a few of the blunders that we've talked about. However,
Yeah.
both the bands or bands,
Bands.
both the brands still going strong.
Battle of the Bands.
Right.
It is the battle of the bands for real. And now that we have taken a stroll through the wild stories of some advertising blunders from one of the most well-known brands in the world,
Yeah.
I am going to challenge you all to take the Pepsi challenge for yourself and report back.
Let us know. Let us
I
know
want to know.
which do you
Oh,
prefer?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I already know.
Wow.
Stay petty, my friends.
Yes. All the petty details.
Oh
All the petty
boy.
details.
Challenge.
Challenge issued.
Also, all the petty details that are not actual facts, but are in my mind.
Yes.
All the
Just a
conspiracy
thought,
theories
not a
that you
fact.
have heard.
I need, yeah,
They're part
I
of
need that on
Cam's
a shirt.
backstory. It's fine.
Just a thought, not a fact.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down.
Just a
There we
thought, not a
go.
fact. I like it. That's
All right.
awesome.
Stay petty, my friends. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
I
Thank you, Monica, our guest hosts, and listeners for getting into the petty details with me today. Stay petty, my friends.